everybody, and welcome to my October TBR. So what we're going to do this month is that we're going to be part of the Becca Spookoplathon. So if you don't know what this is a month-long readathon created by Becca in the Books. She's a very popular booktuber that I really love, and I take her recommendations all the time. So yeah, so she created this board that is very based on Monopoly, and it's gonna be a month-long readathon where you kind of like pick your TBR with the board and you play like a Monopoly game. You roll 2 dice, and then with whatever you get is how you move through the board, and the board has different prompts that hopefully will lead to something that we want to read. So I want to do this with my unread TBR. So those are the 16 books that I currently have in my house that I have not read, and I want to finish have like 0 books on my TBR by the end of the year, so that's why we're gonna use those books. But if they don't fit any of the specific prompts, I'm probably gonna look at my library and script and Everin and to see if there's anything that fits that I would like to read better. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So let's roll the first dice. So let's see. So the first dice is number 4. So starting from here, it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4. So a TBR veteran, so something that I probably haven't read in a long time, and I had on my TBR for a long time. So let's see. The book that I probably had on my TBR for the longest is this one. So this one is The Missing of Claire de Lune. So if you see them, even like it's a little dusty because I have not read it in forever. This is the second book in a very popular series, The Mirror Visitors. So this one is a French translated fantasy, which is very based on like Alice in Wonderland. It's very whimsical. And this is a story about a young girl who lives in a world that was first united, and then God like struck it and divided it into multiple islands. Each island has like its own unique magic system as well as their own unique topography. She is from an island where the people there can transport themselves through mirrors, as well as touching objects and being able to tell the history of that object just by touching it. And apart from that, she's gonna get married to a guy that's in another island that is known for being very brutal, very cold, and the people there are able to do mirages. So basically you don't know what's real and what's fake, and the magical spirit there is also known for being very brutal. So she goes to that island, and in the first book she's just kind of like knowing the place and knowing the people, and it's a lot of political things as well as a lot of like, ooh, there's that, I don't know, like an ambulance going through. So yeah, there's a lot of political intrigue, and that was really fun. And in this book, I think she's going to get a little bit more into the romance of it all. Because I do think they're falling in love. I'm not sure. Right now they hate each other. So yeah. So let's see how that goes. Okay, so for roll, oh shoot, I forgot that this is a roll. If I roll a double, I have to add another roll. So initially I wanted to do only 5 rolls, so now I'm gonna have to do 6. So read 6 books, which is still very much in my wheelhouse. So the next one is an 8. So starting from here, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is a poll pick. So I do not have a poll because I do not have that much following in anywhere. So let me just come and get my husband to pick a book for me. Let's see. I'm going to pick a couple that I will be okay with reading. Yeah, whatever attracts you.
That one.
That one?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I don't know, there's a rabbit on it.
So let's do the next one. So that will be 7. So from the poll pick, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A book with a bone color cover. So that can be anything from a light white to like light brown. That's what the instructions said. I think I'm going to choose this one. So The Red House by Mark Hayden. I don't know a lot about this book. I know that it is part of from the author of The Curious Incident on the Dog of the Nighttime, which is a very mystery, a very classic mystery. So let's see. Okay, so this story is about a wealthy doctor who invites his estranged family to his country home, the Red House, and they kind of get into a lot of past grudges and past mysteries and try to resolve all their family issues. And I think it's meant to be a mystery, but I don't know how mysterious it's gonna be. I know that the curious incident of the dog in the nighttime was, but I don't know how much of a mystery this story is gonna be, but I'm excited to read it. This has also been in my house for a very, very long time. I think my really good friend gave it to me one Christmas like 6 years ago, and I never read it, so I'm really interested in getting this off my TBR. Okay, so let's see what's next. So let's roll. Another 8. I'm getting a lot of really high numbers. 1, and this is roll number. So I picked 3 books so far. Yeah, so this is roll number 4. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that one says Grady Hendrix. Grady Hendrix. Let's see what that means. I think that's an author. So it's one of the yellow ones. Spooky is satirical. Read a book with humor. So I actually have never read a book by Grady Hendrix before. I have been interested in a lot of their books, and I'm interested in one in particular. Let's see if I can find it really quick. Okay, so the book that I want to read by Grady Hendrix is Horror Store. So this one is one that has always interested me, and I think it came out quite a few years ago. Let's see, it came out on 2014, one of his first books, but this one is about a group of people that stay overnight at a store that's supposed to be very much like IKEA, because there's some spooky things going on, and I'm really interested about this book because of the setting. I always find like IKEA stores to be like a lot of fun, but also kind of eerie because you don't know where you're going, you can't really turn back. It is kind of confusing to navigate. So I think the setting is going to be a lot of like fun in a contemporary setting, very much like a labyrinth that you can get out of. But that's why I'm the most interested about this book, and apparently a lot of like spooky things happen, and it's more of a horror, like psychological horror. So I am super interested in this book, and I want to pick it up this month. So that's what I'm gonna pick for my Grady Hendrix prompt. Let's see what the next one's gonna be. So I am in my 5th. So we have 2 more after this. Another 8. Oh my god. Let's see. Where am I? Right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Seance. What does that mean? Let's see. Commune with a spirit. Use a random letter generator to select a letter and read a book that starts with that letter. So something that starts with the letter C. Let's see if anything in my own TBR starts with the letter C. I have a couple options. So I have a couple things. I'm not going to count like prepositions or like anything like that, because D shouldn't count. Like the first word is actually catcher in the rye, and then D, city or brass. So it's like city is kind of like the first letter, and then to cage a god, it's going to be like cage is actually the first like word, because otherwise it would be very difficult, because not a lot of things start with the letter C. So out of these books, I kind of already soft DNF'd this book before, so I'm not really excited to read it. So it's kind of like in between these books. This is a classic that I've owned for a really long time, and I kind of want to read, but it is like, you know, it's kind of like a classic. And then this is The City of Brass, which I also kind of got from my little free library. I am excited to read it, but it is a chunky book. So actually, after a while, I think I'm going to go with The Catcher in the Rye. Mostly because this book is set in wintertime, so I think it'll be very interesting to read a book that is set more in like a cold season. And this is about a boy named Holden, I believe. I think that's his name. I don't want to confirm. So he runs away from his boarding school after he feels very neglected by his parents, and this is kind of happening in like during the Christmas break, and he feels very neglected by his parents, and he doesn't want to go back to school, so he just wanders around and be a depressing rich boy. It is one of those books that it is a classic, and I am not super excited about reading it. I know that a lot of people read it in high school. I have vague memories of maybe reading it in high school, or maybe I just like read like the SparkNotes version. So that's why I got it when I saw it for free in a little free library. I kind of want to read it because I never actually got the full experience. So I'm gonna go for this book. Not super excited, but I am happy that's set in like kind of like a colder season, and I think it's the type of book that you want to read by the like in the latter half of the year. Okay, so I have one more regular roll, and then we have to get Joey to pick a book for us. And 7, oh my god, a lot of really big numbers. So that was when I read landed in Seance. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Community shelf. What does that mean? Oh, so this is when you get like the special card. So I did write some prompts from the special cards, but I'm gonna need to generate a random number. So let's generate a random number. Okay, so it's number 1 from my community shelf. And I did write some, so let's see. Community shelf card, read an Illumicrate book. Okay, so that is something that I do want to do. I do have a lot of them, so let me pick one. I think we're gonna read this one. So it's A Dark and Drowning Tide. This is the September Illumicrate book, and I'm gonna show you the edges. I'm not super impressed by. I feel like the colors that they chose don't really like pop against each other. I feel like we've had like way better sprayed edges. The naked hardcover is really pretty though. So this is the cover that they're going with. It is very pretty. I do love those colors, like the light blue and the white and the dark blue and the gold. I think it's very striking, but like the edges don't like pop as much as I want to. And then this is the naked hardcover. Isn't that gorgeous? It is so beautiful. The inside is not that cool. It has like some mythological creatures, but I've seen a lot better drawings of mythological creatures, but you know, it's still pretty cool. So this book is about a girl who is the captain of this expedition where there's 8 people, I believe, and one of them gets killed, but nobody's sure who actually did it, and the only person that she can trust is this guy who is kind of like her enemy, her like rival in the field. So now they have to go on the expedition to try to discover who committed the murder and how they're gonna like actually go through this expedition, because they want it to be, it's very important for their life, because if they discover whatever they're looking for, which I think is a magical like water source, they're able to kind of like give it to the king and then get a lot of power for it. But they kind of like discover that they don't want to give it to the king. Through the way, it's about a lot of conserving the magic and not giving it. And apparently the king has like nefarious motives for wanting this power source. I'm not very sure about it. It is gorgeous. I am very excited. It's been very hit or miss with me so far this year to see whether or not the Illumicrate books are any good. So hopefully this time around we get an actual good Illumicrate book. So yeah, those are so far the books that I have. I have 4 books picked. A Dark and Drowning Tide, which is a new Illumicrate book. Catcher in the Rye, which is going to be a very interesting classic. The Red House of Hedon, which is going to be a more like cozy mystery or like heartfelt mystery. And then The Miser Climbed the Loon, which is going to be a fantasy book. And then the other book, I have to read one more book this month, which is this one, The Lioness of Alrasan, which is for my in-person book club. And then I believe Books and Lala has her book club this month as well. For the Books and Lala book club, there will be 3 novellas that we will be reading. So that will be The Graveyard Shift, The Night Guest, and then the last one is This Is Where We Talk Things Out. So those are other 3 books that I have to add to my TBR. So far we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books. Okay, so that'll be it. Those are my final TBR. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys participate in this Spookoplathon as well. And let me know how it goes and comment down below what you're going to be reading this month. Oh, I forgot something. So I am going to do a buddy read with one of my friends on Instagram. I'll put her handle right here. And she and I are going to read the X-Hex. We have a lot of fun reading not trashy actually, like nice romances every month. We have read a bunch of them by now, so this one's the one that we're gonna read this month, and it should be a lot of fun. I love doing like a little buddy read on Instagram with people, because we always like do like a page count each week, so we have a lot to talk a page count each day, so we have a lot to talk about by the end of the day. So yeah, those are all the books that I'm gonna be reading in the month of October. It's gonna be a heavy one, especially because I'm going back to work, but I think I can do it. So bye.